Hey, Big Idea Project students, this is Crystal. You may have seen me before or you may not have, but I work for Big Idea Project. You all are in the process of wrapping up your projects or your leadership challenges, and now you're kind of at the point where you have to reflect on what you've just gone through. It has been a crazy 6 weeks, and I know that it has not been easy just staying at home, not being able to see your friends. That is no small thing, and so right off the bat, I just want to say that your experience with this all does matter. And if you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling upset, if you're feeling angry, that's okay. That is totally normal right now, and you're allowed to feel that. But I would challenge you to not stay there for too long. One of the biggest things I would encourage you to do is to not compare your experience to others. I think oftentimes we think that our situation or our experience doesn't matter because it's not as bad as someone else's. And while it's true that other people go through tougher things, your experience is still valid, and it's okay if your experience isn't as tough as someone else's. Instead of comparing, I would encourage you to take a few moments to reflect on the last 6 weeks. First, what is the most challenging thing that you have faced in the last 6 weeks? Was it the loss of something important to you? Was it trying to keep up with schoolwork, doing it remotely? Was it something else? The next thing I would ask you is, what is the greatest thing that you have learned or grown in over the last 6 weeks? And it's okay if you did not learn a new language or start 5 new hobbies. I want to know how you grew personally. Did you have to practice a lot more patience at home, having to deal with annoying siblings or everyone trying to do their online work at the same time? Did you have to practice perseverance when you really just wanted to quit doing your schoolwork and just sit in front of the TV? Did you learn empathy, seeing others around you struggling and putting yourself in a place to listen to them and care for them, even just by offering a listening ear? And then in all of this, who was your greatest support? Was there somebody in your life, maybe in your family or in your friend circle, or even one of your teachers who has supported you through this? I'd encourage you to think of that person and maybe consider sending them a thank you. You know, this season of being at home for the last 6 weeks is really what you make of it. You can't control the things outside of your sphere of influence. You can't control if your parents lost their jobs. You can't control if one of your friends is struggling. You can't control when things are going to start opening. But you can control your perspective. And so while you might have a lot of frustrations and sadness, and those feelings are very real, I would challenge you to make the most out of this season. How can you see this season differently? What are the bright spots in this season for you? What is something you're going to take away from it? Are you going to consider this time wasted, or are you going to consider this a time when you were stretched and you had to grow and you had to lean on support from other people? What are you going to take away from this season? Use these questions and your answers to these questions to help you articulate your story in this season. If you're presenting about Big Idea Project this semester, this is the story you tell. You talk about what you tried to do, what you wanted to do, but then you get to talk about what you actually did do and what you learned from it. Your experience this semester is so much more than a grade. It is so much more than a super successful project. Your experience is the life skills, the real life lessons that you had to learn and what you did with them. Good luck, Big Idea Project students. You're so close to the end. Keep working hard. Keep asking for help when you need it. Keep challenging yourself to think a little bit deeper about your situation. And we wish you all the best as you head into your summer.